But in separate news now, Nehawu-affiliated workers are expected to picket in various parts of the country, this despite receiving a second court interdict. While the union represents some government employees who are demanding a 10% salary increase, and eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is covering that story for us out in KwaZulu-Natal. Joining us this morning to give us the very latest. And Nqobile, good morning to you, colleague. Let's get to the nitty-gritty in terms of the protest. What's currently happening from where you're standing? Nqobile, can you hear me?
Well, colleague, we're outside here at Gray's Hospital. I'm just going to show you what's happening. These are all the hospital staff that are basically standing outside. We're hearing that Gray's Hospital is basically not working today. We do know that the Nehawu strike is on the day 2 of its strike, and I want to bring in now the leader to speak to us about this. Ayanda, we know that you were interdicted, and we heard also no work, no pay from the minister. Tell us what happens now.
Thank you very much. Today we are entering our second day of an indefinite strike. We will only go back at work when the employer gives us our outstanding 7%, when the employer gives us our 2,500 for the housing allowance, and all other issues that we have raised. Yesterday, the National Union, through our legal team, we made an appeal on the court order. You know that according to the law, if you make an appeal, the decision that has been taken is suspended. That's the reason why workers here, more than 2,000 workers are out in all the hospitals, in particular here in KZN. 80 hospitals is a complete shutdown, and the government department. So workers are resolute. The issue of no work, no pay is a secondary issue to workers, because what is fundamental is to defend collective bargaining from the arrogant employer. That yesterday, I think we saw the former acting minister, Mr. Tulas, what he have said. Absolute nonsense he was saying to the workers. So workers are resolute. We are going to go back at work when the employer gives us 10%. with an outstanding of 7%, because he have already, without our wishes, gave us 3%, over which we have already used it.
But I mean, at this point, we know that there are a lot of people that need these services. What happens to people who, for example, wants to come here and get assistance?
As the Nehawu in KZN, we wrote to the HOD of Health. We requested an urgent meeting on Friday to say, let us have an engagement so that we come up with a plan. How are we going to deal with the strike management, because of starting on strike? The department was arrogantly so. They said it's not that restriction to discuss these issues with us. So we are proceeding. The community must know that we did ask for the indulgence of the department in the province to have a strike management plan so that we do not face this situation. But the community does know that the workers for the past 3 years have been on the receiving end. From the Constitutional Court decision of nullifying Resolution 1 of 2018 to workers being given a tip. After that, the unilateral decision of implementing 3%, they know we are worse off.
I mean, how many departments at this point are affected?
Is the Department of Health, largely the hospitals, is the Department of Education, head offices here, Department of Agriculture, Public Works, Sports, Arts and Culture, COGTA, Department of Water and Sanitation, Home Affairs. There are long queues, Social Development. We have completely closed the public service, and this is we're going to intensify more in the next coming days, because we're expecting SASA to join the strike, SIU to join the strike, SANPI to join the strike, and all the entities that also the salary increases is linked to government.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Zuli, who is in the KZN Nehawu. I want to show you, these are nurses that we can see. We can already see their health officials that are all outside. We have seen the paramedics, we are seeing the nurses, we are seeing others, of course, dressed in the regalia. But we do know at this point that Gray's Hospital has definitely been closed. We've seen some of the people, as you can see, trying to enter, but it does seem like there won't be any assistance that they will be receiving. But we're hearing from Ayanda that it's not just one hospital that is closed, it's various other hospitals, which means anyone who needs that assistance will probably not get it very soon.
Yeah, indeed. And Nqobile, we look forward to hearing from management from the hospital, just to give us guidance in terms of then what happens to the patients, what happens to the nurses, the healthcare providers outside protesting, and also equally those needing assistance inside. Are there any hospitals close by, nearby, that they're redirecting patients to? I suppose as soon as those developments come out, colleague, we'll be sure to cross back to Nqobile Madlala. As you can see there, some of the nurses still, blowing their vuvuzelas, adorning their ANC regalia, and even on the roads you could see that there are rocks being placed on the road. Some nurses in their uniforms standing by, can't make their way inside, perhaps not prohibited to do so, not allowed, as the strike action continues. Those developments and visuals coming to you live from KwaZulu-Natal.